which is right off there, and you see it from shore moving out to the Gulf, it just kind of vanishes. That is to our south-southwest. And then way off where you just see sky and sea melt together, on the other side of that gloom, that is where Michael happens to be. And with every syllable that I give you, every word that I say, by the time I finish this sentence, that storm is getting closer, moment by moment, bit by bit. So it's a disappearing act of sorts. It truly is. This beach was, I'd say, about 175 to maybe 200 yards wide at some points during low tide just about a day or 2 days ago. And as then yesterday morning at 6 a.m., they had the mandatory evacuation for zones A, B, and C in Bay County, which basically covers your coastline. If you're not familiar with it, you're from another part of the country, just know that it's along the coast in Bay County. Great move for them to do that. Schools obviously canceled for the time being. And goodness, people move out and this comes in. The problem that we're going to be seeing is more of these waves. In fact, at one point, there was a pattern of the water coming in. At this time, you can see a few individual waves, but more than anything else, it looks like just a giant mixing bowl, a giant washing machine. One after another after another. Just imagine the beating that those pylons are taking right there at the base of the pier. You know what's amazing? I'm sorry, I keep losing my train of thought because I'm so mesmerized by how some of these waves are so massive they come up and actually touch the bottom of the pier, one after another. Jacques Stard, the man behind the camera, is an experienced surfer. And yesterday we were talking about how big the waves happen to be, and he was, again, astounded by how massive they were. But at this point, I can only imagine what he's thinking. We'll have to have a conversation during the break. But there's no break here right now. I'm going to walk over to this side. There was at one point a jet ski rental stand right here. You had families right in the spot where I happen to be hanging out. Goodness. Just madness. Off in this distance, it looks like visibility stops at my guess maybe a quarter of a mile, and then everything else is just wind and water and madness. 65 miles. That's where we are in terms of that eye getting closer. That's really the power core, so to speak, when it comes to these systems. So when that gets closer, we're going to see the transfer of some of this water become awfully rude and make its way over these areas, these sea oats. I'm not about to walk on these. You're not supposed to walk on the sea oats because these root systems, they hold the integrity of the dunes. But I won't get across this, but the water should possibly. And then at the same time, you'll get some of these structures. We, again, as I mentioned earlier, in a very new building where the bottom floor is kind of up on giant stilts, so to speak. But you'll notice on some of these other hotels, these other places, that's not the case. Some of these much older, I'm sure built back in the 50s, 60s, maybe even older than that. And they've never been tested for before. Today, they're going to get that test. You see the flags flying, the double flags over in one spot. It looks like I can't really make out what the other one is, but at this point, it belongs to Michael, no question. All of it does. Now, notice this, too. Got to be really careful. You'll see a lot of erosion along the coast. I'm going to hop on the other side of this, but I'm not going to be able to do this, say, about probably another 20 minutes or so. But you'll notice the water comes in and just cuts like a channel right back through before it pulls right back out. It's a process that we've been seeing up and down the coast. Unreal. So I'm going to hop over here. You know, matter of fact, why don't we get a little bit back closer over towards Jacques, towards the camera. That's how it is. It's the pattern. We move away, it moves closer. Unbelievable. All right, let's make our way back to Jen for a moment. In Tallahassee, the state capital, it is really the mission control spot of the state. Jen, what's the latest you have now? I know you had a few raindrops. Is the wind picking up at all at your location?
No, Reynolds, we had some wind gusts over about 20-25 miles per hour, but nothing significant yet. I'm watching the radar, and you can see like the outermost rain band actually is getting all the way up into Albany, Georgia. And then that second band from the outside, that's the one that's really going to bring us some winds gusting to tropical storm force strength, and that is not far away from us at all here in Tallahassee. So we're literally, miles away from getting into those stronger winds and that heavier rain, and the rain is really going to pick up here momentarily. You can see I'm just on the edge of that. Now, I'm watching Reynolds shot, and I'm thinking about what's happening right there. It's 65 miles offshore from where Reynolds is. We've got a Category 4 hurricane, the likes of which has never hit the Florida Panhandle before. And so it really is quite a sight when you think about what's happening out there. And it's really not that far away from the coastline. Things are really going downhill very quickly through today. We can take you out live to East Point, Florida right now. And let's just listen into the rain as it's coming down here. That rain is going to keep picking up. That rain is going to keep increasing in intensity. The wind is going to pick up. Things are going downhill with Michael making landfall today.
Cough doesn't sound so good. Take Mucinex DM.
I'll text you in 4 hours when your cough returns.
One pill lasts 12 hours, so...
Looks like I'm good all night.
Mucinex DM releases fast and lasts 12 hours, not 4. Let's end this.
Ahoy! Gotcha!
Quick! The quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker and is 2 times more absorbent than the leading ordinary brand. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. On a budget? Try Bounty Essentials.
Insurance that won't replace the full value of your new car? You're better off throwing your money right into the harbor. Gonna regret that.
With Liberty Mutual new car replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car.
Liberty, 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 liberty. The hottest new razor is taking the men's grooming world by storm. And if you don't have it, you need it. Micro-Touch Solo, the hyper-advanced full-body razor that trims, shapes, edges, and even shaves with micro-precision. And it's totally safe to the touch. Go solo for full body control with one tool. No nicks, bumps, or ingrown hairs. Edge beards and goatees with one touch. Clean your neck, barber shop perfect. And check this out. Snap on the guide to tame growth and perfectly shape your full beard. And keep new growth stubble trimmed exactly to your style. And look, the Solo Full Body Groomer trims precisely the length of hair you want. Snap off the guide and remove unwanted hair anywhere in seconds. What makes Solo different than your ordinary razor? Dual-sided German stainless steel blade. Shave up or down at 200 microstrokes per second. The Ultra Flex pivoting head contours perfectly to you for precise results. 3 custom grooming guides for control of exact length and shape. And a built-in LED light so you never miss a spot. Solo is so precise, you need no creams, no soaps, and no water. Ditch the old man clippers and toss the scissors. You've got to go solo. Call 1-800-585-0634 or go online at microtouchsolo.com and get yours now for only $19.99. Complete with German stainless steel blade, pivoting head, built-in spotlight, and 3 custom grooming guides. Everything you see here for just $19.99. The all-new Micro-Touch Solo Full Body Groomer. The one tool that does it all.
I'm missing out on our family outings because I can't find a bladder leakage product that fits. Everything was too loose. But Depend Fit Flex feels tailored to me.
With a range of sizes for all body types, Depend Fit Flex underwear is guaranteed to be your best fit.
Sometimes the pressures of today's world can make it tough to take care of yourself, but Nature's Bounty has innovative ways to help you maintain balance and help keep you active and well-rested. Because, hey, tomorrow's coming up fast. Nature's Bounty, because you're better off healthy.
And welcome back, everyone. I'm meteorologist Reynolds Wolf, and you're taking a look at some new video in at Apalachicola, Florida. Kind of what we expect, unfortunately, the water coming up. It's already been moving into cars moving over docks in some places. It is certainly on the uptick, and the reason why is because of Hurricane Michael. Welcome back, everyone. I'm meteorologist Reynolds Wolf. I'm coming to you from a different spot, just down the coast in Panama City Beach, where the wind continues to roar. The waves, one after another, continue to battle the shore. But you know what? We're going to have some other issues. When you look at the maps and you see the waves, that's one part of the story. But how does this translate into the human experience? What is that going to mean for a lot of people when this comes its way on shore and then makes its way through parts of the southeast? Let's bring in Jen Carfagno for a moment. She's up in Tallahassee. And Jen, I got to tell you, I think people really need to be prepared for the idea of having to go solo. They're going to have to be by themselves. Families are going to have to fend for themselves because it's going to be incredibly difficult for first responders to get out and about and deliver those supplies, the assistance that so many people are going to need. I was actually at the store yesterday, at a Target store, overhearing parents say that, you know, it's kind of like one of those things that they're going to treat like they're camping out. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly like camping out, right? Because power is going to go out, so you need to have all your battery-powered flashlights and lanterns and everything else here to make sure that you have light. And, of course, everything charged up. We still have power here, so you can still, keep going. Make sure that everything is charged up. But at this point, we're in the rain, guys. We're in that outermost of the most strong bands here outside of Michael. And here into Tallahassee, I would say that's it. You got to hunker down for the rest of the storm. The rain has begun. The winds will pick up. And in these outer bands, it's not just about the rain, which is very loud, by the way. I'm sure you can hear it over my mic. It's not just about the rain and the wind, but it's the risk of tornadoes. And we do have that isolated risk of tornadoes here. We are under a tornado watch until 5 o'clock. And, that will be extended if it needs to be, although we know that Michael's going to be accelerating once it hits land. Think about what's going on right here. We have the most powerful hurricane to hit the Florida Panhandle, looming about 60, 70 miles off the coast. And it's approaching, it's going to make a landfall on the Florida Panhandle, and then it's going to accelerate. It's going to speed up in movement inland. And so, even if you're not in the direct path, we know that the wingspan of this thing is large enough that you will get some strong tropical storm force winds, at least 100 miles away from the center of the path of the storm. And that is going to cause damage. That's going to bring trees down. That trees can bring power lines down. And of course, power outage is a big concern. Trees coming down on homes, especially worried about mobile homes. With that tornado risk, also worried about mobile homes. Make sure you have a safe place to go. Make sure you know where you will go if you get under a tornado warning. And know this about the tornado risk: when we get into these landfalling tropical systems, the tornado risk quickly spins up, so you don't get a lot of warning. It's just the nature of the way these cells develop. All right, we're starting to get into some stronger winds, and I want to show you a little bit about where I am in Tallahassee. I'm in the chain of parks area that it's called, and behind me you can see we've got these dramatic big live oak trees, the moss hanging down. It certainly is a beautiful sight, and Tallahassee is just a stunning city. I took a walk here a couple miles around the city yesterday, and everywhere you look there are beautiful trees, the live oaks. You've got beautiful pines. Both of those have shallow root systems, and so those could come down, of course, with these strong winds. And then beneath that, you've got a lot of laurels, a lot of magnolias. I mean, Reynolds, look, there's so many trees here, more than 55% of the area covered in trees. That's not good with winds that are going to be, very strong tropical storm force, if not hurricane force. We could see winds of 100 miles per hour gusting in this area later today, Reynolds.
Jen, you're driving home such a great point when you talk about the wind, you talk about the possibility of tornadoes, and you talk about the big oaks. The thing that is a huge concern, and one thing I think we really need to relay out to a lot of moms and a lot of dads, is that when you have those winds, those possible tornadoes, that means a lot of damage is going to cover roadways. So for power crews to get out and try to restore the services, it could be days, it could be even a week without power, which is the whole thing about preparation, about being ready, about being prepared, about being in that safe spot. Governor Rick Scott was actually talking about power crews being on standby, but obviously they're not going to be able to get out there immediately. Jen, have you seen quite a few crews around town? Have you seen a lot of trucks?
Yes. And, and I've talked to the mayor a few times, and I know that there are crews pre-positioned in the area. But, we know, Reynolds, from covering these storms, that you can't always get out immediately because trees come down, they block roadways, so that has to be cleared before power crews can get out. And, of course, the winds themselves have to calm down before crews can get out. So it can take time. Everybody wants to know, is this going to be like Irma or like Hermine or like Kate in this area? And quite honestly, it could be worse than all of them. But all were big power outage makers. Hermine was one that people remember from 2 years ago, and it was a week that we had a large percentage of the area without power. Kate was even worse. Kate, it was a couple days sometimes for many people here that they couldn't even get out on their streets because there were so many trees blocking roadways for them to get out. And for Hurricane Kate, that was back in 1985, there was about a 3-week period until everyone got power back. So that's going to be significant. And Reynolds, the point I want to make is that when Kate made a landfall, well, let me say this. Kate at its peak was a Cat 3. When it made a landfall near Mexico Beach in Florida, it was a Cat 2. And then it came up through this area. Compare that to what we're dealing with Michael. It is a strong Cat 4. It is likely to make landfall as a Cat 4, and then it's going to accelerate, bringing its wind energy with it, Reynolds. So very concerned, Reynolds, about all the power outages.
No question about it, Jen. You know this part of the world better than anybody, and certainly you know your tropics, and you're right. But every one of these storms happens to be different, and all of them, every hurricane, not the same as the other. One key takeaway I want to share with you folks as we go to commercial break is we got Chris Warren that's going to be coming up at the top of the hour in Apalachicola. Right now, the waves continue to march in, and our coverage marches on. We'll see you after these messages.
Why bother mastering something? Because when you want to create an entirely new feeling, the difference between excellence and mastery is all the difference in the world. Introducing the all-new Lexus ES, a product of mastery. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
What's a Tyson meal kit? It's simple, honest ingredients. It's pre-chopped and pre-seasoned. It's just the right amount of help to make a wholesome meal. That's what it is.
Are we there yet?
You don't always use your smartphone for directions.
Okay, guys, up there.
Or to laugh out loud.
You're in the middle. Yeah.
But when it matters most, you count on TracFone to keep you connected for less. Our smartphone plan gives you talk, text, and data with unlimited carryover starting at $15 a month. No contract. All with nationwide 4G LTE coverage. Get top smartphones or bring your own phone. TracFone for moments that matter.
If you have psoriasis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats moderate to severe plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clear skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
That's a mini wheat. Delicious. But it's more than that. 10 layers of crunchy wheat to fill you up on big days. Whether your day involves steam, mountains, or fire, we've got your breakfast right here. Is your breakfast built for big days?
What started as a small mail order catalog for sailing supplies grew a little over 55 years. But along the way, we vowed to never lose sight of our heritage and dedication to quality, value, and service.
Gorgeous morning coming from beautiful Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
We see lighthouses as the ultimate symbol of trust, so we promise to preserve and protect our beacons of light to remind us just how far we've come and still guide us to the places.
Comcast Spotlight gives you access to over 50 TV and digital networks. So whatever content your audiences watch, you'll reach them. Sounds like an advertising opportunity knocking. Visit ComcastSpotlight.com today. Comcast Spotlight uses sophisticated data and analytics to reach your audience with the optimal combination of TV networks and digital destinations. Let's find your audience today. See what you can do at ComcastSpotlight.com.
There's luggage that falls apart and luggage that costs more than a plane ticket. Now, there's something new. The perfect suitcase. Meet Away, thoughtfully designed luggage that charges your phone, fits everything and never breaks, and lasts forever. Try any suitcase for 100 days. Visit awaytravel.com.
Discover what over 1 million families know. We shop, you save.
911 emergency.
A lot of things can change in an investigation, but the weather never lies.
Storm of Suspicion. All new episodes Sunday nights at 8.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms likely. High 91. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, some clouds. Low 78. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 90. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to our coverage of Hurricane Michael. Anytime you have a hurricane or tropical storm make landfall, you have the risk of tornadoes. We have a tornado warning right now. Let's pull it up on the screen for you. And by the way, we do have a tornado watch up for the area until 5 o'clock. And that's including areas of Florida Panhandle into areas of southern Georgia. And expect to see more watches throughout the night and into tomorrow as well as it makes landfall. Here we go. Got Levy County under a tornado warning until 11:15. And we switched on to the velocity. We can kind of show you that the Doppler radar is showing a rotation going on. Kind of hard to see there, but bottom line is they have detected a little rotation, and that is constantly a concern. When we have landfalling hurricanes, we have these bands streaming in over the relatively frictionless water of the Gulf of Mexico. They hit land, and parts of them start to slow down, which creates a little shear, a little spin going on, and they quickly pop up, and they move fast as well. The entire storm is moving around 13 miles per hour, but you have some of the wind bands and some of the wind in there could be gusting well over hurricane force, so they're moving in pretty fast. This is a tower cam we have here very close to the warning area. It's a Cedar Key, Florida. You're definitely seeing some of the winds and waves kind of lashing at the seawall there, and some of the overspray overwash onto the road as well. So we do have a tornado warning right now for Levy County here in Florida, including you in Cedar Key until 11:15 Eastern time, and parts of the Florida Panhandle have Eastern and Central time zone. This is the Eastern time zone here, and big concern. We'll keep tracking this also inland. The good news is they spin up pretty quickly, but also spin down as well. We'll keep a close eye on other rotations we see offshore and give you the warnings as soon as they are issued. But right now, let's get back to the ground now and show what's going on in Panama City Beach. Reynolds Wolf is there now. And Reynolds, that eye wall, the most intense parts, we're talking over the next, say, 3 hours, you'll see your weather really go downhill and probably chase you off of the beach where you're standing right now.
Absolutely, yeah, fully expect that. I mean, you're right. We're in the early stages of a story that's going to last for quite a while. Even when this thing moves on, we're still going to be talking about this for some time to come. The view that we have now, again, it is just a story of these waves which continue to pummel the shoreline. But not only this spot, but also in Laguna Beach, the new video that we have for you. This pops up not too far from where we happen to be, and it's more of the same, But I guarantee you, this video is not going to be long-lasting. What I mean in television parlance, we talk about video, and it's only as good until the scene changes completely, and the scene is going to change in dramatic ways. In fact, if we hold on to this video, and then we show you the scene from Laguna Beach, say in an hour, 2 hours, altogether different. All right, we've got a new advisory in from the National Hurricane Center. With that, let's send it back over to Dr. Greg Postel.
Yeah, remarkably enough, Reynolds, Michael continues to intensify. The pressure now down to 928 millibars. I've said this all morning long. I've never seen a hurricane this intense, this close to the northern Gulf Coast. Not Katrina, not Opal, not anything that I can remember even close. This thing continues just right on its way to power toward the northern Gulf Coast. There is going to be tornado-like damage in that eye wall. That's where the vast majority of the wind damage is going to take place, and it is actually not that far away now from Panama City and Panama City Beach, Mexico Beach, and areas nearby. It is roughly about 40 miles offshore or so, and it is in that eye wall where the winds are going to be going up dramatically by orders of magnitude in force. So right now, Apalachicola, 41 gusts to 64. You might think, not so bad. You might think in Panama City, where Reynolds Wolf is, not so bad. Trust me, there is going to be tornadic-like wind damage right in here in that eye wall as it moves closer and closer to the coastline. It is now roughly that eye wall, say 40 miles outside of the beaches, meaning that in about 3 hours or just under that, we will start to see the conditions get immeasurably worse very, very quickly. You're going to need to shelter in place, get away from windows in interior rooms, act like this is a tornado coming in, because that's the kind of wind speed and wind gusts we will see, one that can do damage to anything in its path. Reynolds, back to you.
All right, thanks so much. Yeah, these tornadoes that form with these landfalling tropical systems, different animal than what you'll see in places like, say, North Texas or back into the Central Plains. These, as Dr. Postel mentioned, can be rain-wrapped. They can fire up very, very quickly and cause all kinds of problems. By the way, we've actually moved up off the beach. We're not going back on the beach today. Obviously, the reason why is these waves are continuing to come in. In fact, as we move away and go up to higher ground, the water is probably going to follow us. In fact, we expect that as we move forward in time. Well, this continues to move forward. The center of the system still to our southwest and rolling in our present direction. But right now, let's take you to Indian Pass. Indian Pass, where you're seeing more of the same. Listen to this. Wow. Unbelievable, folks. Gusts of up to 54 miles an hour. That is Michael whispering to us, but that whisper is soon going to be a full-throated roar. Again, Hurricane Michael, it is a massive system. We're talking to Category 4, which continues inexorably its march to our shorelines. Continue coverage on Michael coming up after these commercial messages. Stay safe. We'll see you in a few moments.
You love the look of exterior lighting, but lighting contractors cost a fortune. And wiring your own lights? Well, don't try that at home. You need Disc Lights by Bell & Howell, the portable, powerful, solar-powered LED outdoor lights that mount flat to the ground to create incredible cascades of light. Best of all, there's no wiring at all. Just press Disc Light flat to the ground and you're done. Bell & Howell Disc Lights utilize light conversion technology that absorb the sun's energy in storage cells, where it's converted into solar-powered electricity. So when the sun goes down, Disc Lights come up for 10 full hours and turn off automatically in daylight. There's even a switch to turn them on and off manually. Add Disc Lights to accent your garden, or to add ambiance by the back deck or beside the pool. Place one for a specialized accent light, or an entire group for amazing landscape lighting. Each Bell & Howell Disc Light contains ultra-bright LEDs that last over 10 years in a durable, weatherproof stainless steel housing. And they're low enough and tough enough that you can even mow right over them. Remove the stick and lay them on any flat surface to add light to that dark walkway, highlight steps and stairs for safe passage, or just to add inviting accent lighting to your outdoor living. Use the hook and loop strips to mount vertically, so now you can actually see the food you've got cooking on the grill, or add some extra light on the barn or backyard storage shed. And Disc Lights help to deter nighttime intruders. So which house do you think the thieves would hit? Only Disc Lights carry the Bell & Howell name, the brand your family has trusted since 1907. Whether you stake them, hang them, or lay them flat, Disc Lights deliver the right look and light in a snap. So you can spend up to $1,000 or more on Pathway landscape lighting installed by a professional. Or you can get this set of 4 Bell & Howell Disc Lights for just $19.95, and we'll even ship it to you free. But wait, order today and you can get a second set of 4 disc lights. Just pay a separate fee. So don't delay. Order your Bell & Howell Disc Lights today. Just $19.95. Call now.
Call 1-800-670-9018 or go to disclights.com. That's 1-800-670-9018 or order online at disclights.com.
First Man is the best movie of the year.
Your dad's gonna land on the moon.
We need to fail down here so we don't fail up there.
We got a bad fire!
They're gone, Leo.
What are the chances this is